This event is wonderful. This brings in people from all stations in life and kids. And people will get a taste of this that would never come to something like this. And I think it's just a wonderful thing that gets done here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the landing of the Voyager canoes, with as traditional the Ouiatenon Brigade leading the way in.
I was a teacher at Rossville Junior High School. We had a history club. This would be 6th, 7th, 8th graders. And we did a project for competition with the State Junior Historical Society, Indiana Junior Historical Society. The kids chose a subject, which was Ouiatenon, or the French, and their exhibit won. First time a junior high club had won the top award. And they wanted to show it. And I said, well, let's just unlock the blockhouse and put it out there for a day. 900 people came through. And I said, maybe we ought to do this again next year. And the kids for that succeeding year learned some crafts, spinning, weaving, candle dipping, a few other things. We raised some pumpkins and sold them up around the blockhouse. That was one day. After that, it was 2 days, and we brought in all the elements that we have here now. The military, the voyageurs, the canoe people, fife and drum was started here, and it took off. Today there are over 900 18th century festivals. They all have their root here at the Feast of the Hunter's Moon.
I think it's an easy way to learn about history. It's a fun way to learn about history. Even if you're just wandering around here, you can't help but learn a little something by osmosis. It does represent a peaceful community where several thousand Indians lived in peace with a few dozen French, where everything was based on trade, and that the French founded this community not because they wanted land, but just for trade. So they lived in peace with the Wei Indians here.
When I was in school as an undergraduate at Purdue, I looked for the site of the fort based on some documents that I'd researched, and I found the site in 1966, and eventually in the winter of '67, after wading up to my armpits in Wabash floodwater, did a test trench on the site and discovered the site was very deep, approximately 3.5 feet. And had contents of what I interpreted to be a hearth and building stones that would not normally be used by Native American people.
I first came as a student at Purdue University and continued each year and was able to bring family and friends along. It's a wonderful opportunity to enjoy history, fellowship with friends and family, the outdoors, the history of the fort, and just an event we look forward to every year. When the kids were young, they told their parents they looked forward to this more than Christmas, which was hard to imagine. It's been a great way to raise our kids and teach them something about history and how to work together.
There's over 3,000 of us who are volunteers, who are dressed. So when you see people strolling around, they may actually be a working volunteer. They may be off duty at their post, or they may have been one of the people that helped set up all of this.
As a history teacher, I always felt, history doesn't have to be so two-dimensional. You can make it three-dimensional. And that's what I sought to make for this history club and my history students, was that you can touch, feel, sense, smoke, drink, eat history, and you can. And certainly you have all that opportunity out here.
It's a lot of history combined with fun, food, and total enjoyment, my 3 favorite things.